He had only two aims in life, first to get what he wanted, and after that to enjoy it. But to achieve the one he'd have to give up the other. Or would he? The interstellar transport ship, bound for far-off Genosis Prime with Outlander colonists from Earth and frontier guards from Klonikta, suddenly struck the hyperspace vortex without warning. It seized the ship in its grasp, wrenching and twisting her, and flung her across its gigantic rim at thousands of times the speed of light. The crew's flight commander wrestled with the control pads as he looked in horror at the chaotic display panels as they were tossed around violently to what seemed like certain death. Crap, there goes my promotion. If we even survive this shitstorm, the corporation lays blame for random event accidents as if they were bad judgment calls. The flight assistant could only just barely turn her eyes towards her leader as she fought the juddering and extreme G-forces pressing her body deep back into her flight seat. I'm just praying to whatever God will listen, that we don't all die in a horrendous fireball. Then, without notice, the battered transporter abruptly emerged into normal space in an unknown region of the galaxy. The ion warp drives were broken and near useless, but they were near enough to a planet that she could descend by means of her anti-gravity plates before the last of her air was spent. But it would be a rough landing. Very rough. It was sunset when the fracturing transporter settled heavily to Earth, lopsided on a grassy slope beside a forest, tilted at a dangerous angle with only her failing anti-gravity plates to halt her from sliding down into a deep, nearby ravine. The dead had been disposed of in space as per Interspace Treaty Protocol, and the remaining living filed silently down the gangplank ramp. 50 Outlander men, women and children, 18 ship's crewmen, and 10 frontier guards. The guard officer, Captain Hart, followed by the ship's flight commander Preston, came last, both of equal rank and already appraising each other with cold speculation. Their blunt appraisal of each other was abruptly interrupted by a distant guttural howl, followed by 12 quick yips. Both were confident men of action. They coolly surveyed the sudden stricken panic spreading like an unseen wildfire amongst the survivors. And suddenly another guttural howl, this time closer, followed by 11 quick yips. "Shit! Whatever they are, they're communicating," said Preston under his breath. Hart gestured to a small clearing protected by the proposed encampment of the guards. "Yeah, my guys will set up a perimeter as best we can, adjacent the forest. That would be your best spot over there." "Sure," Preston acknowledged without taking his eyes off the darkening forest. "Don't forget what we spoke about earlier on the ship." Hart seemed to not hear, and continued the clipped discussion of the makeshift settlement plans.